morning, good morning, good morning, my beautiful ones, my wise ones, my melanated ones, and those that are seeking the truth. Today is Monday, August 4th, 2025, and I am Wisdom Reborn. And I just finished I'm in the midst of finishing a great morning walk. When I left the house, it was 64 degrees in August, and it is probably maybe 70 now, so it's a little chilly out here for this time of the year. Now, I came on here this morning because I wanted to introduce a word to some and maybe bring it back to the forefront for some others. The word is henotheism. Henotheism. Henotheism is serving one God, but recognizing that there are many more gods, which I think is a big problem for us. We think that there is only one God, and so you can only be serving one God, which is one of the most ridiculous things we could ever think. A lot of people think we live in a simulation. A lot of people think that there is a pantheon, and a lot of people think that the world is just in a crazy place. And guess what? All three are true, all at the same time. We do live in a simulation. There are not one pantheon, but there are multiple pantheons. There is a Greek group of gods. There is an Egyptian group of gods. There is a Israelites have a group of gods. The Celtics have a group of gods. There are many gods. And if you don't believe me, look at Isaiah 14, I think. Yeah, Isaiah 14. Also, look at Genesis 1 and 2. In Genesis 1, it says God saw that the earth was void and had no form, so he formed land and separated the land and the water, and grew the vegetation and allowed the animals to come. And then on the sixth day, he created man and woman. No, he created man. I don't know if he created woman on the sixth. Well, anyway, he created man. And he created man in the likeness and image of all of the gods. So there are female goddesses also. Yes, indeed there are. We were made in their likeness and image, and they created us in their likeness and image. And it says in Genesis 1, our likeness and image. Now, in Genesis 2, it starts off and it says, and on the seventh day, the Lord looked out at his work and he saw that it was good and he rested. I don't know how long this rest lasted. And I'm going to tell you why I say I don't know how long this rest lasted. Because I haven't been able to receive revelation. And if you know, please share on what happened the evening of the seventh day or the morning of the eighth day. Because the Bible doesn't go into specifics. And you know what I do? I can check the Emerald Tablets and see what the Emerald Tablets have to say about it. But I still want us to think about this. Then it says, he looked out upon the earth and he saw that it was full of steam and the vegetation was dying. That's basically what it says. Go back and check it out. Genesis chapter 1 and chapter 2. So then when he saw that the vegetation was dying, or he saw that the steam was coming up off the earth, he said, you know what, let me fix this. He scooped down, or he went down, scooped up some dirt from the earth, and he created man and woman. Now the difference is this time he blew life into them and gave them a soul. He didn't do that on the sixth day. Now, the place where he placed this man and this woman had no vegetation. It had nothing. So what happened to the vegetation that he placed on the earth on the third or fourth day in the previous chapter? Nonetheless, he created this man and this woman. He brought to them the fruits and the vegetables, the vegetation, the animals. He put a lake, a stream. He put everything where he put the second creation of man and woman. Genesis 1 and 2. If it's a lie, you find it and I'll stop telling it. I would believe you if you told me that it was the Genesis 2 is a retelling of Genesis 1. The only difference is in Genesis 1, it is definitive of what was done day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. But in Genesis 2, it's different. Which leads me in my theoretical way of thinking is that Genesis 1 was either a different God than the God in Genesis 2, because it seems to me like the God in Genesis 2 had no idea what had happened in Genesis 1. Go back and read it for yourself. If you have questions, please give those to your pastors, preachers, teachers, apostles, and prophets. Because when I was like 5 or 6 years old, I almost shut down the whole church because I asked a question when we were studying Cain and Abel's dispute. I asked, where did they get wives from? And I was told that I was asking too many questions, that I was being a smart aleck, that I was causing disruption. Well, it is my deep calculation, because it says right there in the Bible that they got their wives from the land of Nod. So I do believe that the land of Nod is where their wives came from. It is also the place where this God made his people to be. And when his people were there, that's where the second God's people went to gather people from. You tell me. Nonetheless, what I would like for you to get out of this entire 10 minutes, because I'm going to try to keep it under 10 minutes, is that it's more than one God. There is more than one God. Isaiah 14, Genesis 1 and 2, just to start. That's just to start. What about Baal? What about Marduk? What about it's so many of them. And if you think that you are so spiritually elevated that you can't be tricked, you better go back and read some stuff about the most intelligent, the wisest man to have ever lived, King Solomon. Because King Solomon was tricked into serving Marduk as well as Ishtar. He actually made temples for them. They tricked him. He was smart, but he was tricked. We're smart, but we've been tricked. Remember that word, henotheism, Henotheosim. It means serving one God, but recognizing that there are many other gods. This has been a 10-minute break on Monday, August 4th, 2025, from Wisdom Reborn. For my beautiful, wise, melanated, and truth seekers, I just gave some truth. Have a wonderful day.